Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Last time. As I said, it's hard to put words to describe the man. He is an inspiration, he is my friend, and he is my hero. So with that, let me bring up John Feal.
I'm not a hero. I'm a volunteer. In the 80s, I volunteered for the Army at 17 years old. I wanted to grow up. There was no war, but I volunteered to serve my country. If there was a war, I'd be like those soldiers today fighting a good fight overseas. Ground Zero came, 9/11 came. I volunteered. I got hurt. And at the time, it altered my life. But now it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Last week, I volunteered to give a kidney. See, I'm just your proverbial volunteer. I actually care about human life. While our federal government sits idle, human life has taken a backseat to economics. Lou, Dale, and everybody at Rio Change, Lou's Change, you guys rock. I'm here today to bridge the gap between the 9/11 community, the responder community, with the truth movement. It's ignorance that separates us. People say, John, why would you deal with the 9/11 truth movement? My response is, well, why wouldn't you? I support anybody who seeks the truth and justice. People said to me, John, why would you donate a kidney to a complete stranger? And I said, why? Why wouldn't you? I had never once backtracked or flip-flopped on something I've decided to do. And for that, you now are all my extended family. September 17, 2001, 8,000 pounds of steel crushed my left foot, and it hurt like the bejesus. I spent 11 weeks in the hospital staring at a ceiling tiles. There's 183 ceiling tiles in my hospital room, and those who don't know me, I now have a Rain Man disease that I count everything. And while I talk to you, I'm counting you all. You laugh, but it's true. 32 surgeries. You know, before 9/11, I had 8 knee surgeries. And last week, I had another one. I'm over 40 surgeries. I would donate every organ that I could possibly give if it means helping those less fortunate. The Feel Good Foundation, although it bears my name, it can be called so many different things. It can mean we're a group of people and we're effing pissed at the government foundation. We wouldn't be in business if people would just do it as morally right. The bottom line is morally right. Elected officials are elected into office to serve and protect their constituents. Other than a handful of people that are honestly trying, they're not doing their jobs. And whether you work in a pharmacy or you work in a carpentry shop, wherever, if you don't do your job, you get fired. People in Congress, people in the Senate, you're fired. You know, listening to David and everybody talk about Condoleezza Rice and Christopher Whitman, 2 years ago I was on Air America Radio and they said, what do you think of Christy Todd Whitman? And I hold my head high on this one. I pat myself on the back. I said that woman should go to jail for manslaughter. Everybody said, John, don't you think that's a little harsh? Careful what you say, you might offend somebody. Well, I've been offended for 6 years. I've been offended watching my friends get sicker and die. I've been to 12 funerals in 3 years. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty depressing. I get stories every day, phone calls and emails, help me. Get a 9/11 responder who can't afford to put food on his table for a kid. The pressure that I go through to make sure that that man has food on his table. My foundation is made up mostly of 9/11 responders who are sick and dying. Vito Valente, pulmonary fibrosis, needs a double lung transplant. He's going to die. It's a fact. He's never going to get on that transplant list. But now that I donated a kidney, I'm going to use it to raise awareness for all 9/11 responders who need organ donations. You people can make a difference by signing the back of your driver's licenses. That's all I ask of you. That's not the hardest thing in the world. There's so many cliches that all of these speakers can throw around tonight, but to honestly make a change, you have to get off your ass. You have to voice what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and stick to it. Move forward, and if you get knocked down, get back up and start kicking some ass. I don't personally bash anybody, but this is how it is. George Bush, you got the IQ of a soap dish. Mayor Bloomberg, you're a pompous millionaire out of touch with reality. Mayor Giuliani, you couldn't help the people in New York. How the hell are you going to help the people of this country? Christy Todd Whitman and Condoleezza Rice, just share a cell together, become lovers. You should go to jail for manslaughter. And I'm serious, manslaughter, for every time somebody dies. Getting serious though, post-traumatic is at its highest between 4 and 6 years. That's after a traumatic event. I'm not making this up. I'm not even a doctor. But add that denial and neglect, those misnomers, and that post-traumatic is skyrocketing. I'm a strong believer that post-traumatic will be the #1 killer of 9/11 responders, and I'll tell you why. While they're out there fighting their cancers and their respiratory problems, you add post-traumatic, and that's stress, that's physical and mental. That breaks down your immune system and it doesn't allow you to fight what you're trying to fight to survive for. We will outnumber those who died on that day. This is sad. There are so many more sad days in my life than there are good. Last week, I got to give a kidney to a stranger. What a feeling. I've never won lotto, so I don't know what it is to be rich. But giving the gift of life to not 1, not 2, but 3 people, that fucking rocks. I have so much more work to do. I plan on helping Lou, Dylan, Avery, you guys, once again. You have more energy and so much fight in you, and I hope that you guys continue to make a difference. 9/11 responders need help now. Not tomorrow, not in a week from now, not on Tuesday when they start taking pictures and reading names and all of that. 9/11 responders need help now. They needed help yesterday, they needed help 6 years ago, and it's because of our federal government and a lack of compassion, which trickled into society, where we all now poop on each other. We are segregated and separated by politics and religion. And I believe that goodness in all of you will unite us once again. It will bring people together. I ask you all, please stand, please. Please stand with me. I'm asking you all to join hands for 1 second with me. Feel the goodness. Feel the difference that you're making. Feel the love in this room. Let it leave this room. Let it travel to the mayor's office. Let it travel to Albany. Let it travel to Washington, D.C. And let it overwhelm the ignorance and the stupidity that's being run by our country. God bless you and thank you all.